Alright, go ahead.
You can record with team shit. That's
Yeah.
neat. The First Cat of Nicolas Cage. In the before time, there was only the vast empty. No space nor time did continue. All the dimensions were held in their non-existence. The great Nicolas Cage thus was sprung into existence through his very will, and saw nothing, and was displeased. And so his mighty mind devised a sacred erection, and it was the very first of things. He declared it good. Its quantum flesh was mighty and true, but it stood alone. The cage performed a divine pelvic thrust.
Okay.
Jesus fucking Christ. When the universe was created at great speed, expanding. Its contents were of heated radiation, unshaped stardust flying at immense velocity. Nicolas Cage blinked, and eons passed. The holy stardust collected through his gravitational will, forming great space seas of dust and light. He breathed, and galactic oceans condensed, forming a multitude of suns and stones. And with one stroke... and with one stroke of his mighty boner, the universe let it go. Oh my god.
Hold on.
As the galactic ocean floated by, Nicolas Cage reached out his hand and grasped it. He looked at it through his glorious eyes and instantaneously began to stretch and bend it. He found amusement in the handling of these sacred galactic seas, and so Cage reached out his mighty hand and took another ocean into the sacred warmth of his mighty palms. As Nicolas Cage looked at the two great galactic oceans that he held in his palms, he felt a huge surge of power pulsing throughout his body. And so the great Nicolas Cage threw the two oceans into each other, causing a mighty galactic explosion. As the holy explosion simmered down, Cage felt an immense new power that had suddenly arisen. He had inadvertently created holy particles, even smaller than the most subatomic of subatomic particles. The far-sighted Cage took the tiny, vulnerable Higgs boson and hid it for its own safety. The other particles spread far and wide, creating more and more of the ever-expanding universe. But the great and powerful Lord Nicolas Cage grew rather tired of his empty existence, merely playing with dull stones and rocks. He wished for one like him, with a creative impulse and a spark of life. So he took a tiny star with its slowly cooling stones, and he found it to be satisfactory. So he gathered his great grace, capitalized for some reason, and gazed upon the third planet from the star. Everywhere his vision touched, the stone was cool, the water flowed freely forth. And the cage, from his universal standpoint, could barely see the planet. So he shrunk himself down and walked personally upon its surface. With each and every step, the once cracked and hardened ground blossomed into a wonderful green garden with lush foliage, flowers and fruit as far as his eyes could see, and more and much more as each second passed. For so great was his holy touch that life sprung forth from his soulful body. And although the foliage provided a beautiful habitat, Nicolas Cage found it useless without any intelligent life to call it home. And so he created a mighty and holy creature, a bird in the image of his hair. He created all manner of beasts, four-legged and two-legged, hoofed and finned, winged and clawed, massive and minuscule, of all shades of the rainbow and then some. The most important of all animals, of course, were the bees. He created the holy bees with the intent for them to be the basis of the new ecosystem. The bees would pollinate the plants and create food for all the animals in this brave new world. But Nicolas Cage believed that he was far too powerful to constantly tend to Earth, and so he created a man in his image that would serve as the avatar of the Lord of this planet. Nicolas Cage thus dubbed the man Adam. Looking at Adam, Cage decided that his new creation would need a partner, for life on the planet alone would sure to become very lonely. And so he created a second man to be Adam's life. A second man? What happened to Eve?
Just keep reading.
And so he created a second man to be Adam's lifelong companion. The great Cage thus gave the man the name Steve. Adam and Steve had been intended to remain in paradise forever, with their Lord and with all the animals of the world. But the great Lord Nicolas Cage created the universe. He did not fully understand what exactly it was he unleashed. He had indeed created a glorious and holy universe, but in doing so, Cage also unleashed a great evil. This evil was the quantum twin of our Lord, and it was just as devilish as the Cage was holy. And the evil twin had an equally evil name that matched its horrible demeanor and its hideous face and morbid mind. It had dubbed itself John Travolta.
Oh my god.
And John Travolta was as intelligent as he was evil. He knew that his quantum brother, Nicolas Cage, had been creating in the time since their birth, and he grew jealous and resentful. He traveled hundreds of light years from the center of the universe to Earth. In a matter of minutes, he appeared to confront his brother. After creating the first humans, Adam and Steve, Cage turned around to see the glowing, evil eyes of John Travolta. He was at first stunned to see his one and only brother, but then understood the reason he had come to haunt him. "My brother, John Travolta," said Nicolas Cage in his glorious and all-powerful voice. Wherefore art thou here upon my planet? Thou hast angered me, the horrible John Travolta proclaimed in his terrifyingly malevolent voice. Wherefore hast thou created life upon this stone? Thou knowest not what you do, the natural state of death, and thou hast disturbed it with thine pitiful life forms. "My brother," mein kin, mein Kampf, said the Lord, thine words tinged with madness. Why canst thou not perceive the glory and light of life? Life? Life, John Travolta roared. Thine pathetic life makes me cringe. Thou canst deal with thine own world, I shan't bother you. And with an angry look on his face, John Travolta stormed away into the wilderness. Now, my children, Lord Cage said to Adam and Steve, thou must not trust my brother. Whatever thou do, thou must not fall prey to the Travolta. But do not fear, as I shall protect you against his mind tricks. Now, young ones, feel free to enjoy this paradise. Adam and Steve wandered off together. They held hands and traveled throughout the great forest where they knew each other. After a long time of knowing, Adam requested that Steve obtain some fruit from the trees of knowledge so that they would have something more to discuss. And so Steve wandered off until he reached the great forest of knowledge, where the trees of knowledge stood tall and proud. He was there where he reached his hand high up into the branches of the trees. To Steve's surprise, his hand did not grasp a fruit, but rather another hand, that which belonged to the evil demon John Travolta. Steve was taken aback at Travolta's presence, but he looked up into the demon's eyes. Wherefore dost thou want fruit? Travolta asked. When thou canst have a delicious swine. Since Steve did not speak himself, he could not object to Travolta's suggestion. Travolta directed Steve toward a mother sow with many piglets sucking upon her succulent bosoms.
Oh my god. Sorry.
Travolta instructed Steve to slaughter the pig, and as Steve approached the boar, Travolta reached deep into her mind and caused raged PMS. She leaped forward and devoured Steve's exposed boner, leaving him in an extreme moment of agony. When Steve did not return...
Okay. Okay.
When Steve did not return, Adam became worried. He was rather confused as to why Steve had not returned to him, and so Adam got up and walked towards the forest of knowledge, where he knew his partner was. When he arrived, he was shocked to discover that Steve's boner had been removed. Adam could not begin to imagine what had happened, but he immediately called for Nicolas Cage to help them. When the Lord arrived, he too was shocked to discover what had happened to Steve's boner. He looked at the damage that his evil twin, John Travolta, had done to his creation and roared a powerful and frightful roar. What has John Travolta done to thee, Steve? Cage exclaimed. Do not fear, my dear Steve, for I am all-powerful, and I know how to fix thee. And so Nicolas Cage gathered all his might and directed it at Steve, and as Cage's power grew, Steve's hair grew longer, his breasts grew bigger, and the skin around the area where Steve's boner formed was sunk inside, creating a hole in which Adam could easily fit his boner. my god, I'm running out of breath. Jeez. I shall call it a vagina, said the great and all-powerful Nicolas Cage. Steve, take care of your new vagina, and you shall use it to create new people. And Adam, take care of your boner, and without it, Steve shall be unable to produce children. However, Adam's boner fell limp, and he began to worry. Do not fret, my child, the great Cage said unto him. I have done much of the same with other.
Hello?
From now on, your boner shall only appear when it's time to create. Your job is to create more and more people to go against John Travolta's evil. However, since I originally intended for there to only be one gender, it shall surprise me not if a man knows a man or a woman knows a woman. You must love and tolerate everyone.
What a powerful
And
message.
so, yeah, from the fucking Bible of Nicolas Cage.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm gonna get a drink.
Okay. Okay. Oh my god.
All right, over.
You were at
Yeah,
Do Not
answer,
Fret, my child. Oh, yeah.
And so Adam looked at his partner Steve, and Steve's newfound beauty stunned his soul. Adam took Steve by the hand and stroked her long hair, and suddenly, feeling the power of Nicolas Cage surging throughout his body, his boner sprang up, signaling to Adam and Steve that it was time to create. And the Lord laughed and said unto Adam, It's why she was there. It was part of the plan to give you a boner, and you've got one. And the Lord Nicolas Cage feared that future generations of people would be lost without a proper form of communication. And so the Lord devised an alphabet that Adam and Steve would teach to their offspring, and they would teach. Oh, that's repeated twice. Okay. It's hard to believe that the Bible of Nicolas Cage would have typing errors, you know.
It's Google's fault. It's obviously Google's fault.
The Church of Google made a mistake.
I know. What is this?
Listen closely, said the Lord, for I shall bestow upon you the gift of writing and speech. Thou must use this great alphabet for all your daily conversational needs. And the Lord gave the alphabet. He said, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, I will kill your fat... That's the wrong one. H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, and Z. Since the letter music sign or music sign in lowercase, it's not used in the modern alphabet. It is pronounced as ha, back then. After giving the alphabet, Nicolas Cage then said unto them, "That's all you have to do." Nicolas Cage, thus tired and thirsty from his long day of creation, decided it was time to drink. He climbed to the top of the nearest mountain and drank the dew at the top. After several long hours passed, the Lord then decided it was time to release the holy mountain dew from the inside of his body. And so Nicolas Cage, from his great boner, released a glowing green liquid that was carbonated and sweet. Adam and Steve sat under the Lord's boner and drank the sacred green juices that flowed from the cage.
Oh my god. What the fuck?
Oh my god. What an immense achievement, proclaimed Nicolas Cage with his great voice. I hereby dub this liquid Halibahak.
Close enough.
Mountain Dew. Adam and Steve rejoiced as they drank the Mountain Dew, and all were joyous. That is, of course, except for John Travolta. Travolta was incredibly jealous of Nicolas Cage's alphabet. Cage had found a way to create beautiful words with a beautiful sounding alphabet in a glorious language that would be spoken throughout the land. John Travolta's alphabet did not have any lowercase letters, and he grew envious of Cage's skill. Travolta's sinister alphabet was comprised of such horrible letters as upside down floating T, small scrunched up T, police baton, line, weird.
Okay, it was when you were like talking about the alphabet. You said like upside down T, police baton.
Yeah. Travolta's sinister alphabet was comprised of such horrible letters as S with a circle in the middle, upside down floating T, other scrunched up T, police baton, vertical line, stretched elongated T, paragraph symbol, horizontal line, 3 lines, plus or minus, upside down T with another square, pentagon, Jew star. The names of these letters were so evil that nobody knows how they are pronounced. As time grew on, Adam and Steve produced their children. Adam and Steve taught their children how to speak and write, and those children taught their children, and their Lord's great language. And as more and more people entered the universe, more and more people spoke and wrote the language of the great Nicolas Cage. Travolta grew jealous of Cage's language. He stood upon his home planet of Mexico. Yet his devilish sight could see across the globe that Cage's creations worked wondrously and perfectly, utilizing the Lord's language. In his dark, demented land, he began hatching a plan to steal all the syllables in Cage's language and use them to benefit himself. As he thought of how to execute his devious plan, he decided it would be best to create a powerful... to create a powerful and intelligent minion who will follow his every whim. And thus he created the powerful Zenu. Isn't that a Pokemon? The owl?
Uh, Possibly. Let me see.
No. It's probably some reference to a game.
No. Zenu is some guy from Scientology. Like, he is.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
According to like the guy who created Scientology, he is the guy who he was the dictator of the Galactic Confederacy, who 75 million years ago brought billions of his people to Earth, then known as TIAC, in a DC-8-like spacecraft, stacked them around volcanoes and killed them using hydrogen bombs. Official Scientology scriptures hold that the essences of these people remained, and that they form around a people in modern times, causing them spiritual harm. These events are known within Scientology as Incident 2 in Roman numerals, and the traumatic memories associated with them as the Wall of Fire or the R6 implant.
That sounds pretty legitimate.
Shizzle.
Do we have any proof that this didn't happen?
I know. We don't have proof it didn't happen.
I could have never imagined such a horror.
No.
Damn that Travolta.
God damn it.
Damn Travolta and his damned Mexico.
Oh no. Wheels on the bus go round and round. Round and round.
What the fuck? Zenu was a hulking grey, tentacled mass with two mouths on each side of his face, each lined with deadly, sharp teeth. Above this, two red eyes glowing with demonic malice. He towered over the large stony crags that lined the evil Mexican landscape.
Sorry.
You know, I've been to Mexico, and that's actually true. That's a realistic description of the Mexican terrain. You know, I was on a horse. I went horse riding in Mexico, and the fucking thing bobbed around so much. I mean, you would not imagine how sore my nuts were after that. I mean, even the horses are fucking evil in Mexico.
Mexico.
Yeah. Zenu, knowing that Nicolas Cage was too powerful to fight alone, he decided that in order to follow upon his master's plan, he needed help. And thus he decided to create a minion of his own, but Zenu's power was too weak to create out of the dry rocks of Mexico. So he decided to fly away from Mexico to another distant planet in the far reaches of the galaxy. This planet, known only as Kenya, was lined with horrific craters filled with chemicals that could rip a normal person apart by just breathing in the fumes. It was on this planet where Zenu could create a horrible demon from the chemical-filled craters. A horrible demon that could win the Olympics for sprinting. Zenu landed inside the brutal atmosphere where he walked to the vilest, darkest crater in all of Kenya. He reached deep into the crater and mixed the chemicals together. As he mixed, a black demon slowly arose from the sludge. His skin was so dark that it frightened even Lord Zenu. From his mouth and nose came a constant excretion of horrible smoke that would suffocate even the most powerful of men. Zenu knew that his new demon could lead an entire nation into chaos, and thus he named the monstrosity Barack Hussein Obama.
Oh my god.
Dun,
You can,
dun, dun.
you can see where the lines between Reddit and 4chan are blurred.
What are you talking about? This is an autobiographical.
I'm sorry. I know this.
This is what actually happened in Nicolas Cage. Just are you trying to imply that this
I,
isn't legitimate? That this isn't
that's
real?
not that's not what I said. I'm sorry.
How dare you cross our great Nicolas Cage?
I'm sorry.
We'll
It's John
chop off
Travolta. It's
your
John Travolta's fault.
bone.
He tried to influence me. Don't let it
I see.
happen again.
Obama took control of your mind for just that 1 second.
I know. Really, God damn it, John Travolta.
What the fuck? Oh, it actually, yeah, Travolta's a Scientologist.
Yeah,
Or he
exactly.
was, yeah. And a hippie, apparently. From news articles. Zenu commanded Obama in his slithering, malicious voice. Go unto the Cajun mortals and steal of them the language they utter and the script they etch. Without it all shall be glorious chaos, and Travolta shall be pleased. Now be off. Obama sailed all throughout the great galactic oceans and landed upon Nicolas Cage's holy planet Earth, where all the Lord's people were speaking the glorious language of Cage. As Obama walked throughout the capital city of Cage's empire, he slowly breathed out his toxic smoke from his lungs. The smoke itself was a thick black smog that contained a deadly chemical that caused people to fall into a deep sleep. As the people breathed in the smoke, they struggled to stay awake, and eventually they fell upon the ground, unable to keep their eyes open. Every step Obama took caused the green plants of the land to blacken and wilt. And then Barack Obama saw the sacred temple in the heart of the city, illuminating with Lord Cage's blessed powers. And with one fatal exhalation, Obama knocked out all the guards and was easily able to enter the sacred temple. As he went deeper inside the temple, he saw a light emanating out of a box. The box was constructed of the finest gossamer particles in the universe. Obama tried with all his might and power to open the box, but it was in vain. Obama decided to summon his master, Zenu, to assist him in opening the box, and thus Zenu appeared unto Obama. Obama, the Dark Lord Zenu said, Why hast thou summoned my presence? Master, said Obama, I am unable to open this box. I require thy great power to open it. And so the Dark Lord Zenu cast a spell upon the box, making all the fine illuminating gossamer melt. And as the box opened, it revealed the great alphabet scripture, which slowly unfolded itself before their eyes, revealing each individual a powerful symbol. Once the entire alphabet was laid out before the eyes of Zenu and Obama, Obama began to take the letters. He first ripped away the letter music symbol.
Ha.
But before, he ripped away the letter But before he could reach for the second letter, he was blinded by a bright light. As the light faded, Zenu and Obama saw a figure. Their eyes cleared, and they could see the Lord Nicolas Cage standing before them with a stern look on his glorious face. What hubris lies within you? Bellowed the Lord. You have harmed my people and attempted to destroy my creation. I hereby banish you to the planet of Area 51, where your soul shall rot and be painfully filled with bees every day. And as the
Oh
two
my god.
minions were taken off, I know, how horrible.
Not the bees. Not the bees.
Bees. As the two minions were taken off to Area 51, the people of the land rejoiced as Lord Nicolas Cage spoke before them. "Do not fear, my children," he said. "One letter has been stolen from our language, but we still have the rest of our letters to use. The sacred juice, formerly known as Mountain Dew, shall now be simply known as Mountain Dew." Okay. Okay. Interesting. Instead of using the word ahahaha to indicate laughter, yeah. Instead of using the word ahahaha to indicate laughter, we shall use the word ha ha. And on this day, in honor of the banishment of evil to Area 51, I hereby proclaim this day as Illumina Day.
Illuminati.
And all of Nicolas Cage's subjects celebrated with happiness and gratitude towards their benevolent creator.
My god, dude. That was amazing. That was the best reading of the first cat of Nicolas Cage that I've ever heard.
Yeah, I feel I could probably read it better if it wasn't fucking 4 a.m. It's 5 a.m.
5 a.m. at this point.
Yeah.
My god.
And that is the ending, my children, of the first cat of Nicolas Cage.
Oh.
Join us for our daily sermons on Thursday. Thursday, Friday, and Saturday we preach upon the glory of Nicolas Cage. And on Sundays and Mondays and Tuesdays we preach and denounce the evils of bees and John Travolta. And on Wednesdays is a mixer with Sundays, so
Yeah.
you should probably come Wednesdays.
Let's listen to the sermon.
And we give out dragon dildos on Fridays, so you know, if you want
Those
to
are
see
the
one.
best.
Yeah, the vibrating ones with the metal spikes, those are fucking.
Alright. That was good. That was good. Now how do I stop recording? Every time I start. Oh, there it is.
You probably just press the same